When love comes in, ooh la la la. Love comes in, ooh la la la.
Alright, boys, welcome back to the show. Welcome back for a brand new episode of the Chelsea Goalpost podcast. I always keep my promise, and last episode I said I was going to bring the boys back on the show, and here they are. Familiar faces, and I know what you're thinking. David, do you not have any other friends? And yeah, I can assure you that you are correct. I do not have any other friends. Hence, help me in welcoming Travis, Afroz, Nathan back to the show. Welcome, boys. Mumbai is in a shit streak, but with COVID and everything, so I'm grateful that you guys took the time out to come on. How are you boys feeling?
I'm feeling good, David. It's always good to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's exciting to be back, and I think this is going to be a fun conversation we're going to have today.
Time for me to
I
validate.
think first off, we all have to congratulate David for Chelsea's win.
Yes, sir.
As hard as
I
it
think
is.
let's do that.
Yeah, bro.
Congratulations to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I didn't see it happening.
I didn't like that.
But you know,
I wanted it to happen, but I didn't see it happening.
Yeah,
So
brother.
yeah, congrats, man. It's good to be back on the goalpost.
Yeah, bro. It's a good time to be alive. It's even better time to be a Chelsea fan. So, it's good times. But it's also been exciting times for other clubs, for other teams. Not for Man U, particularly. But we come to that in a bit. But how you're feeling is the end of the season. End of the annual year for football. Luckily, we have the Euros coming up. Who you boys supporting? Nathan, who you support? Who do you think is gonna win, bro?
So I've had this for I don't know how long. That's my team. Always has been.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think they're probably gonna win, but I said I was gonna support Belgium when the World Cup was going on. So I'd be a fool to change allegiance right now and a hypocrite. So I'm gonna stick with Belgium. But I do think England have a huge chance to win. What about you boys, Afroz, Travis?
With England,
with
England, I'm a little skeptical because
Because why not?
Because of the manager. Because that's the only reason. Because
Okay.
we saw it happening with the Under-21 World Cup as well. The Euros that had just happened.
Yeah.
England had a mad team, but they still didn't end up winning. So that's the reason I was skeptical about England. But my team is France. I'm gonna go with France.
Oh shit, Afroz.
Choice, man. Good choice. Strong choice.
I'm always an English fan. Like obviously England, but to be honest, England are not going to make it against the top 5 teams in the world. So I think France have a really good chance, and I think coming in close second would be Portugal because like everyone. You have
Portugal is the good
every position.
one as well.
2 really good players in each position, so it's a difficult thing to beat. So yeah, I feel France will just edge it out because they have the perfect squad. But Portugal will be a strong contender.
Yeah.
I have to give England some props though, where they have a lot of squad depth this time. They have a replacement for every player.
Yeah, so they have 4 replacements for the right back.
And sometimes they've got 3 replacements for a player. So.
And they have 3 replacements in some places.
Dude, that's crazy. He has 4 right backs in this team, dude. That's I
You know,
think Aaron got injured yesterday, by the way. I think he
has a thigh injury.
If it's a serious one, he's out for sure.
Yeah, I
think it was
figured
a
it's for like
minor one though, but he was.
someone was saying that it's gonna last for a month or so. So, not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But honestly speaking, with all due respect, Arnold has been one of the top right backs in the world for the past 2
Offensively,
years.
let's mention the offensive part,
Offensively. But that's the modern day right back, I think, nowadays, right? Like look at City, look at the big teams, look at Kimmich, look at Odriozola. All these new right backs coming out are all very offensive right backs, like providing a lot of width to the attack. But anyway, moving from the Euros, We have to talk about this one team, and I mentioned it just like 2 minutes ago.
We all live in a yellow submarine. Yellow submarine. Yellow submarine.
I had to.
Why?
The Yellow Submarines poop on United's party, bro. What was that performance? An absolute shambolic performance, bro, from start to finish. I think as much as Villarreal didn't deserve to win it, I think United didn't deserve to win it either. I think they played for the penalties towards the end. Oli got his tactics wrong. He got the substitutions wrong. And it was a complete shit show, bro. And then, like, I don't know why people are even blaming De Gea for that loss. But what are your thoughts, bro? I'll come to Afroz first. What are your thoughts about that game?
It was a very difficult match to watch right till the end, especially with the 12 penalties being taken, 11 penalties. And I agree with what you're saying. But De Gea got a lot of unstick for having not scored a penalty that he generally a keeper nowadays is expected to step up and score the penalty, right? The likes of Edison and various other keepers, especially even Allison to an extent, he can step up and put up a really good dead ball across. So like it's something that's expected of the modern goalkeeper, but comparing De Gea with what he's done for the club in times of the club's need, where we really needed him, he stuck around. However suspicious the circumstances regarding his stay were, he stuck around and he always gave his best. So, in the whole game, a team like United with the squad value that it has and the way that you look at and talk about United as being such a huge club, you should have a team that can back it. And comparing them to sixth place Villarreal, the sixth place, right, in the La Liga.
I think
Comparing them
seventh.
to sixth or seventh, I don't remember the exact. Seventh place. You expect United to easily beat them in 90 minutes, not 120 plus penalties. So the fact that we did not create a single chance through which we scored comes down entirely to us. We did not lose the match because Villarreal were great. We lost it because we were bad.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I completely agree. And also those penalties. I think those are 20 penalties. 20 of the best
They were
penalties
world class
I've ever
penalties.
seen in
World
my
class
life.
penalties. Don't take anything away from the penalty taker. You can argue that Dean Henderson being in goal probably could have saved something, but you're again putting that up to chance. Whereas it's not like that implies that the penalties taken weren't of the caliber you would expect, to someone to not score with. But every penalty was top notch, bang on, and
Yeah.
you can't take anything away from them.
Yeah, okay, so I'm coming to Nathan. What do you think went wrong? See, I think it was a lot to do with the manager and the coaching staff. And we spoke about this before. You know my feelings about Ollie and the coaching staff. So what do you think went wrong? Who's supposed to take responsibility for this loss? Because it was a massive opportunity to get some silverware into the club, and it was a huge chance missed for United.
Yeah, so all right, let's talk about the United's manager and coaching staff. Um, in terms of Oli, like I really like him as a manager, and I like his man management skills. No doubt, I do feel he got it wrong for the Europa final. Um, Having said that, I don't know like how wrong he got it, because we had mentioned this in a conversation that we had earlier, wherein who would he bring off for, like who is that game changer on the bench that United have that can come on and really score in a final. So everyone could see that Rashford was definitely not at his best, and he was struggling with an injury or whatever. But I mean, you take off someone of the caliber of Marcus Rashford and bring on Dan James, the amount of shit Ollie would have gotten for that is like, you would have been in a whirlwind of shit. Okay, granted, he probably could have brought on Donny or Mata, maybe Ahmad also, but Ahmad also is 18 years old, so it was like when against PSG he brought on Greenwood. We didn't really expect Greenwood to score in that game when United beat PSG back in before Oli was appointed as permanent manager. But we were happy to have him over there. So in the same way, if he brought on Ahmad, I don't see if he would really like be a game changer. If he would, it would have been great.
Let me stop you for a
Mata
second.
or Donny, yes.
Nathan, I have something to
Was
say.
it?
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't feel his problem. The problem was with his substitutions. It was when he substituted them. You played
Hmm.
100 and you played majority of the 120 minutes with the same 11 that he started with.
Hmm.
You bring on 2-3 players. Mata and Tella is you know why they were brought on to take the penalty. They weren't brought on to win the
To take
game right
penalties,
there in
exactly.
itself.
Yeah.
And you one of the worst decisions he made in that whole game was bringing off Pogba and leaving Rashford on. What
Yeah,
what
what
were
was
you
that?
thinking
Yeah.
when doing that?
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
Fair
understand
enough.
how
That
Pogba was out. That was surprising for me as well because I expected Pogba to, even if he was planning to take penalties, Pogba is a
Pogba
seasoned
is a penalty
he's
taker.
a World Cup winner.
specialist,
He
so
led that
I
team to
don't
win.
understand that.
How do you take him off?
Yeah,
It's not
so
done.
that's
It's not
what
done.
I don't understand the conversations going on the touchline. First of all, like let's not talk about this specific game. Let's talk about the latter half of the season because these trends have been going on for the latter half of the season. We've been complaining about substitutions. We've been complaining about the same defensive tactics, and the players who are on the pitch are the same players who are playing majority of these games. Rashford has been Rashford and Bruno Fernandes,
Dead.
they were so strong at the start of the season. And you talk about man management. I agree that Ollie has done an excellent job and way surpassed my expectations of him coming into this job in terms of his man management and steadying the ship and creating a good enough environment at Man United right now. It's a good camp, but
He's built the foundations for success, but he
yeah, the
can't get you that
foundations are
silverware.
set, right? But I do think that there's like a next level that he needs to reach where his experience needs to grow a bit because Rashford, everybody, the dumbest of the dumb person knows that Rashford was injured about 3 months ago, and he was still overused. I don't see him like he was substituted like latter parts of the game. Very later on in the games, I've seen him substituted, but only when he looks like he's gonna die on the field.
When
So
he's, yeah.
and Bruno Fernandes, his numbers have dropped. This is the only reason why he didn't win the Player of the Year. I think he would have won the Player of the Year if he had
Fatigue
consistent
got him.
performances
Fatigue got him.
like that he had at the start of the season or even last season. So, everyone talks about Bruno Fernandes disappearing in big games, but I don't buy that shit at all. Bruno Fernandes is an excellent player. I think he's been overused completely, and that's because of Ollie's lack of trust in his substitutes. He
In
has almost
substitutes.
zero trust in Donny van de Beek, and I don't know.
He has no trust in him, man.
Yeah, so this is a deeper problem at United, and obviously we're gonna talk about the Glazers, the kind of I don't know what's going on with them and what's the scene with the club right now, but I know there's a lot of news about leakages in the club. The club is going like rats in the stadium. Lot of news coming out from the club, so it's a hellhole right now. But talking about recruitment, I'm not sure if Oli had these players recruited by from his end. I think they were given to
From
him.
his end, yeah.
So, and that's why he doesn't trust them enough to play them. I'm not sure what's going on. So how does Oli move on from here if he wants to have like a successful season? Obviously, the board needs to back the manager, but he needs to. I think Oli is that really nice guy who won't upset the board. So how does he move on from here? Because this is going to be an extremely difficult situation if you all start off badly.
I'd like to begin by saying that when the previous season ended, not the current one that just ended, when the previous season ended, we had no expectations of ourselves. Honestly, we did not even expect to come second. We just knew that we had to catch up to Liverpool and City, and we know how well City and Liverpool have played in the past couple of years. How they've dominated the Premier League and even to some extent the UCL, especially when Liverpool won it. I'm not saying every performance is dominating, but you get what I mean. So our goal was to come and bridge that gap further. Now I may sound like I'm playing the devil's advocate here, but just hear me out. The thing is, this season we did way more than we expected, and I have to give props to Ollie for that because honestly, the squad we have is not a title-winning squad. No, in no means. We have a few key players who could win us the title, but in order to in the current atmosphere to win it, you need a full team of individuals who know what the task at hand is and to know how to perform week in week out consistently. Those are the kind of players we still lack at United. So, I mean, I do agree that Ollie's made very, very bad mistakes, very, very questionable decisions at times, which have cost us dearly. But let's not forget that this guy's also taken the same squad, which nothing was expected of, and made them someone that you expect things of. So I'm going to give him credit there.
Also, like you said, going unbeaten away
The
is
whole
quite an
Premier League
achievement.
season, yeah. So
And
I feel next season is the one which is going to be really decisive, because this season he's had all the reasons to say that okay, I've done the best I could. Next season, now the next season, if he gets the backing that he wants, he has no reason to fail. He should win whatever we set our eyes on, because the club that we are, the stature we hold, we should be winning every match we play. And
Okay, so
I think
let's
next season will be very
okay. Let's
decisive.
say if you all sign Jadon Sancho, Declan Rice, and who's the other guy you're going? Kunde, I think
And the
is the
defender,
target.
Kunde, Varane, or Pau
Varane
Torres.
Yeah.
or Varane. If you get these
Pau
three targets,
Torres.
y'all will win a title. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're
Uh,
claiming? He
I'm,
should be winning a title at least.
I'm not directly saying that. I'm just saying that we should be in the contention of a title race. Because let's not forget that Chelsea have
We
just
should
won the
definitely
UCL.
get some
Liverpool are
silver.
getting stronger, and City are going to remain City. So we need to be in the mix. We shouldn't be in the mix for the top four. We should be in the mix for the league title. And getting those signings
If
will
City
get
get
us in
Harry
there.
Kane, it's over for the world.
Oh, that's game over.
It's game over.
That,
for
that there's no point for
everybody.
the Premier League to exist.
So-
Just give them the title.
Podcast finish. No
Because
doubt.
City are linked
Harry
with
Kane
both
get one
Grealish
title.
and City are linked with both Grealish and Kane, and if they get
And
both
Kane,
of them
exactly.
in the season, like one in the summer and one in the winter transfer window, then
I see no reason why City
I
don't
don't
get the
see
targets they
the
want,
point.
because they've literally done everything they could. They've reached the CL final and they haven't won it. All they have to do is just get a little better squad. Just spend little more, and you'll win it. So I don't see that
technically all City needed was a number 9 striker, because they played almost the majority of the season without a striker. They had Foden, they had Sterling. These guys are not
Yeah.
strikers.
Yeah.
And Sterling is not in. I don't think he's gonna stay. He's gonna leave.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
it's not up to him
getting
saying
back to
it's- he's
United.
getting pushed out.
Getting back to United. Nathan, I want to come to you. How does Ollie go about winning some kind of silver next season? Do you think that I told you that that the coaching staff needs to change? I know I know that they are all ex-United players and it has like a sentimental value, but the mistakes, the defensive mistakes, dude, it's the same mistakes every game. Set pieces.
Over and over.
Set pieces are such a huge weakness, especially when Maguire's not on the team. And if Maguire's having an off day, then it's even worse. So, how do you go about changing these things? Because it can't be just personnel. It has to be tactics as well. He has to change the coaching staff, but I don't think he will. And unless he gets sacked, the coaching staff's staying there.
So I'm first of all super biased, of course, towards United's coaching staff. Because they're all ex-players. What I give Ollie props for is, like I had mentioned before, I don't see any other manager who allows 3 or 4 different people on the touchline giving commands, shouting at the players. You have Mike Phelan, you have Kieran McKenna, you have Michael Carrick, and Ollie, all 4 of them at some point or the other giving instructions. So I feel he really trusts and backs his backing staff, his coaching staff. But in terms of things like coaching for set pieces and coaching for defending set pieces, that 100% has to change. Because honestly, I cannot remember the last time United scored from a corner or from a set piece. And United's defending of corners and set pieces is absolutely horrible and horrendous. And citing an example of the final against Villarreal, you could tell that this team targeted Victor Lindelof. This team targeted that set piece, and that's all they were playing for, and they got it. So Emery got his tactics 100% spot on with that.
Yeah, definitely. And also that midfield needs
That
to
being
needs to
said,
sort
I think
themselves
my
out.
net is giving trouble again.
Yeah. Oh, no worries. I think that's enough of roasting United.
Can
I
you
think let's
hear
go.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, let's move on to Barcelona.
I don't think so.
Because that's Travis's expert field. When it comes to Barcelona, I've been hearing a lot of news, a lot of things coming out of the club. I was hearing about Koeman and about his next tenure at Barcelona. Whether that's happening or not, I'm not too sure. But what I heard is that they offered him 2 years. Not 2 years. Sorry, what am I saying? They offered him 2 weeks notice before they inform him about next year's tenure. To me, that sounds like a load of bullshit because it just seems like they're hanging him by a thread, and as soon as they get a better manager, they're cutting him off. But if they don't, they always have him. You can continue. You know what I mean?
No, that is exactly
Stringing
what
him
Barcelona is doing. That they are keeping Koeman as a last resort. They're going to go all out and search for a manager. But I don't think they have managed to do that. And I think recent reports, I think yesterday or day before, Barcelona have kind of unofficially confirmed with Koeman that they're going to extend him, let him finish his contract. He's got a contract for another year, so that's why they're just going to let him finish his tenure
But
and
do you-
hopefully get a better coach.
But do you think that they're doing that out of necessity? Because I heard that he's charging a lot of money if they let him go. So
Yeah, because he paid the Dutch Federation, I think, out of his own pocket when he left the job, because they imposed a fine of 5 million or something, and he paid it out of his own pocket. So that's all he's asking for in case they sack him, because he shouldn't be the one losing money.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm also seeing like a trend of really rash decisions being made by Barcelona. I know there's a lot of good signings, but it just seems like a very, very rash decisions just to keep Messi in the club, just to keep Messi happy. Aguero coming
so
in.
what? So let's talk
Replace a
about the
33-year-old with a 33-year-old.
So
Wait, Travis,
Yeah.
Travis, before you start, can you show us what jersey you're wearing?
Yeah, some questionable decisions have been made.
it's supposed to be ironic, okay? It's meant to
Last
be
I
ironic.
remember, there was no crown on the Barca logo, no?
We don't need no crowns, man. We don't need no crowns. Anyways,
Messi.
exactly. Speaking of the 33-year-old swap that Barcelona did, you guys got to remember that Suarez was pushed out by the old board. Okay, it was not by Juan Laporta's board, because Laporta really admires Suarez. So we can't really blame Barcelona for. I know it's become a meme joke that they removed Suarez and got Aguero, but it was done by different boards with different plans, with different views to the club. So I think Aguero is not a marquee signing like it's been said, but he is someone who will lift the squad up. Because right now Barcelona don't need star players, they need players who gel with the squad, and they need players who can play as a team. Because ever since Neymar left, we've only been behind superstars. We went behind Dembele, we went behind Coutinho. We wanted that star factor, even with Griezmann.
You needed to fill that void. That Neymar void
So
in your
now
heart.
we've signed Eric Garcia, Aguero, and in the next weeks we're gonna have Depay and Wijnaldum, because that's almost confirmed. It's almost confirmed. So if you go to see, all of these 4 players are not star players, but they will work well with the team.
Brilliant.
I mean,
team
Aguero
players.
and Aguero and Garcia played in the same team, so even better for them. And Depay and Wijnaldum, both of them are Dutch, so they have played together as well. So we're trying to get players who play well with each other, because we already have Messi, who's going to take all the star quotients that Barcelona have to offer. He's going to suck all of it up. So we cannot have other players being stars. We need someone who can complement him as long as he's there. About the Messi situation, what Barcelona have, as I have heard, I cannot confirm these claims, but this is what is most likely to be true, that Barcelona have kind of offered him a 10-year deal where
I have heard
he
this.
he plays for 2 years in Barcelona, then he shifts to the MLS for another 2 years,
To Inter
and then
Miami.
he comes back as an ambassador.
Oh my god.
That's
I've
interesting.
not heard
That
about
sounds
this.
very much like a Laporta deal. It sounds very much like a deal.
Yeah, this is Laporta's decision to keep Messi in, because whatever happens, even when he goes to the MLS, he'll still be a part of Barcelona. He'll still be under contract with Barcelona.
That way
So he
Barca
comes
can
back
help pay his
and-
wages as well.
Yes, he comes back as an ambassador, and then obviously they decide what to do from there after he's done with that contract. But it's safe to say, for me at least, that he's going to stay in Barcelona for the rest of his life, and he's not going to move to another European club and start a new journey.
That deal makes a lot of sense, especially because he can't move to another European club, and that's exactly what Barca would want. If you have the best player, you want to have him. You don't want anyone else to have him.
And more than being the best player on the pitch, he is also the biggest name in football in history. If you go to see, so Barcelona losing that to another team that's a bigger loss than actually losing Messi as a player. It is losing that image of Messi being only theirs. They lose that, and I think that is
But
more
then,
of a
Travis,
loss.
don't you think at some point Barcelona need to move on from this whole Messi thing? Like, I love
That
and
is-
adore Messi, but how long are they going to milk the Messi franchise?
I think they're going to milk it as much as they can until he moves. He literally stops playing for the club, because even if you try to build a team which is not Messi centric, Messi makes the game his, because that's how he plays. He wants
Because
the ball.
that's
He's always asking for the ball. He drops deep so he gets the ball.
You probably find another Ronaldo. You won't find another Messi.
No, you will not find another Messi, because
Or another Ronaldo,
Okay, Barcelona
for
can-
that matter.
Ronaldo, obviously, it's down to the player himself how great he
Yeah,
was,
it
but
comes down to
a lot
Messi,
of it came
Ronaldo
down to
being-
his discipline, and discipline is something that can be copied and mimicked. The talent like that, the way Messi has,
Like
on the
Messi had
ball,
pure
it's
talent.
very
Like,
rare.
I remember, I think one of the Barcelona players, who was the guy who left? Nelson Semedo, I think. He said he never saw Messi take a single free kick in Barcelona. And how do you not practice free kicks and then score them in and out? Like, he scored 8 free kicks in a year. That's hilarious. For
Yeah,
us.
But like
So anyway,
every team has moved on from their legends, so why can't, and as big as Messi is, at some point, don't you think it's time?
I
that
think
they
they
move
will.
on?
I think, see, the thing is, Messi is still not, he's still at his best. Not at his best, but for us, for
He's still-
the normal
yeah,
footballing
for
community,
mortals.
he's still in the race for the Ballon d'Or. Like, I mean, I know he's not the front liner, but I know he's still in the race, and for him to still be that and give out those levels of games and performances, I think Barcelona still can milk a couple of years out of him, and that's what exactly they're going to do. And
Yeah.
in that process, also get players who can play with the team. So that is what they're also doing, and Laporta is a genius for doing that. That
Yeah,
is-
And
I do think
Koeman
like
is the man to do that.
yeah, I don't know about that.
Koeman,
honestly.
no, Koeman's not the man.
I don't know
to do
about that.
Koeman's
Yeah.
not. No. I agree
See,
with it as well.
The team he has right now, ideally y'all should be winning the league, if I'm being quite honest. Because you look at the names in that squad. Just look at the names. It's star power all over the field, bro. Like, you have international players from the back line till the front line. International players everywhere. Ter Stegen also is playing for Germany, I think, but I mean obviously Neuer's gonna be playing in front.
Neuer supremacy.
but still all over the field they have world class talents. You look at any formation suits them, and they've been like you said, they've been looking for superstars in the form of different players. Those superstars obviously haven't turned out the way they would have wanted them to turn out, but besides that, they have the names, they have the talent in the squad. And I don't think Koeman has utilized the squad to its full extent. And I think some tactical genius needs to come in and sort things out. I thought
Everyone needs a tactical genius. Everyone needs a tactical
I thought
genius.
Xavi would be the second option, and I think they are considering bringing him next season after.
They are, but they
Koeman.
But if you do that, you're just
Laporta
bringing in
still wants
another
him to have
Koeman.
more experience. They want Xavi to have more experience, because
Yeah.
they don't want to have to sack him like regrettably Chelsea did sack Lampard. So I don't think Barcelona want to go through that path where you hire a club legend and hope that
And
he
then are
succeeds
forced to
and
sack
brings
him.
all the glory. So they
Yeah.
want
Well, let's
Xavi
talk
to
about
test
this,
himself.
This manager pinball that's happening. What's going on with all the managers?
Yeah, they're
Conte
just
has left Inter, freaking Zidane has left Madrid. Poch wants to leave PSG. What is going on?
Yeah,
with
so
the
I think
managers?
with Conte-
Ancelotti has come to
Yeah.
Madrid.
Spurs are.
Conte is linked with Spurs, but I
Bro,
think the
that's
reason why he
insane,
left.
Bro, that'll be insane.
Yeah, the reason why he left though, there was a lot of financial problems at Inter, and I think they were supposed to get a sponsor from the US for like 300 something million, but that fell through, and that's why they also had to sell a lot of players, but that deal fell through, and so Conte was like, I'm about to bounce.
Yeah,
because I'm not
Conte
getting paid.
wants his backing.
He wants
And
his backing.
That's the only reason
Exactly.
he wants That's his big condition for joining Spurs, that he wants Daniel Levy to get his pockets out and pay him the money and give him the budget to get the players, because I feel Kane should stay in Spurs if Conte comes, because he turned Lukaku into that. Imagine what he could do with Kane. Like,
But I have a feeling that if Conte does come to Spurs and let's say Kane does leave, they could very well go in for Lukaku. Because wherever Conte is gone, he's wanted Lukaku wherever he's gone.
Yeah, but see,
So it's a matter of being able to get him.
Conte gets his budget.
No, but then
But I don't
also
think they'll go for Lukaku.
Lukaku mentioned a statement just today evening, because I saw this, because Chelsea are linked with Lukaku. He said put out a statement saying that he spoke to Inzaghi and he's very happy with the club, this and that thing. So I don't think personally he's gonna
Then
leave.
I don't see him. If a player comes out and says that, very rarely does he fall
Exactly,
back.
bro. That's what
See,
I'm saying.
the only positive for Kane leaving for Conte is that he will get his transfer budget that he wants. That's the only positive, because he'll get around 150 million, or he'll get 100 million with some good players, so he can play around with that. That's the only positive. But losing Kane, I don't think Conte would want that.
The best managerial news I heard was Steven Gerrard to Everton.
Bro,
that should happen. That needs
That's
to
never
happen.
gonna happen.
That needs to happen.
never gonna
That
happen.
blows my mind.
We as football
think,
fans
yeah.
need that to happen.
Bro, you think he's gonna come?
See,
Gerrard has a higher chance of becoming the
unrealistic.
Liverpool manager than he has of becoming the Everton manager.
See, it is
Yeah.
unrealistic for sure, but it would break the internet, and we need some shit like that to go down, man.
Bro, I was hearing news that Frank Lampard's coming to Crystal Palace.
That'd
That's-
be good.
Oh
for
yeah,
him.
I read that.
It is quite
That'd
possible.
be
It
really
is
good
likely.
for him.
Yeah, bro.
Because he'll
Start
keep them up. He'll
small,
keep them
yes.
up for sure.
He'll
And
keep
that's
them up 100%.
always the manager that
What
Crystal Palace are
came
looking
out of
at.
nowhere was Ancelotti leaving Everton for Madrid. I did not see that
Just
happening. at
dip,
all.
What is
man.
more
He just
surprising,
dipped, like,
Yeah.
At Everton he was
I don't
getting
know why
paid
that-
around 13.5 million, I think. 13 million.
he accepted a pay cut,
And-
almost
And he a 50% pay cut
50%.
to work at Madrid for 3 years. And that's really, really surprising, but obviously managers have their own
I think
reasons for
he
making decisions.
expected European football with Everton, and I think Everton missed out on
finished
that.
it.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like Ancelotti's decision, I feel for him, he doesn't see himself managing for a lot more years, and Madrid might be his one last chance to actually win the UCL again. Maybe that's something that's playing in his mind, because like he's old, not too old for the age that a manager generally plays still,
For manager.
a manager still, but he is quite old. Like, he has been around for a long, long time. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has done this as one last hurrah.
The first time he did come to Madrid, he had a squad which was unbeatable already.
Yeah.
And right now, Madrid is pretty much
Madrid are
battered,
also in the need
and
of a
they're
rebuild.
old, they're rusty, they need a rebuild. And I don't think Ancelotti is a man to.
Yeah, he's not.
Start a
They
rebuild.
need a
He's
younger
the man to
manager
go
who
get
can
it.
give time.
He's the man you put him at the last lap of the relay, because he's the man who can take you to the finish line, but he's not the one who can start you off, man. That's what I feel. Because he did that with Everton and it didn't work out.
Yeah, he dipped so fast though. He dipped so
There
fast.
was just 1 month. There was just 1 month where Everton were first, and then they just disappeared.
Dude, he dipped faster than a date finding out that his chick is a catfish, bro. That was so quick. Bro. Shit, bro. And also the thing is, what I heard is that Ramos is leaving Madrid. Is that true?
Yes.
From reports
But now
that
with
I've read,
Ancelotti coming in, we don't know.
from reports that I've read, apparently Sergio Ramos went in front of all the players, the squad players, and told the hierarchy or whoever the authority was that I refuse to take a pay cut. He further encouraged the players to not take a pay cut themselves as well, stating the reason as the money that they cut from our salaries is the money that is going to be used to fund Mbappe. And when you're a player and you hear that, obviously when Mbappe comes in, he's going to be on high wages. That instantly means he's going to be on higher wages than you. Why are you going to give away your money to someone else? Especially for footballers, how competitive the whole environment is. So that sounds like something that is possible. At the same time, Ancelotti is inheriting a few remnants of the squad he used to manage earlier. He has Ramos who's aging. He has Varane who will probably leave because he did have problems under Ancelotti a long time back. I'm maybe mistaken if by saying that Ancelotti managed Varane, but I do know there was a certain link between the two, which Varane was not happy with.
Yeah, Varane
And
has been
you
linked with
also,
other clubs for like years now. So yeah, I know.
and
I think
Varane
this
could
is
very
the
well
plan.
go
The
for
thing is,
40
he's
million
supposed
this
to
season.
choose between Varane and Ramos. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah,
And
so
I think he
that's why
will.
Militao was also brought in, I think, as a backup for that in case that happened.
Militao was
Uh,
brought in as playing first choice, but it unfortunately did not work out that way for either the club or the player. But I do see it happening.
okay.
Yeah, and now with Alaba coming in, that should work
Yeah,
out in
bro.
his
Oh
favor.
shit, yeah, I forgot about Alaba also coming in. That's also a brilliant
Alaba,
transfer.
that's
Mad.
a big
Dude,
sign.
he had a great performance against England yesterday as well, bombing up the field, bro. Anyway, boys, this has been a good conversation. We went from one end of the earth to the other, but
Yeah, man.
I'm-
This is with the four of us. We can't stay on
we
two
can't stick
clubs
to
or
one
three
topic.
clubs.
Stick to one
We just
topic.
go out.
I
and
can
do
only
all
imagine
that.
this to
Pinballing
be
is
wrong.
bullshit, bro. But this is
I
what
can
we
only
love to
imagine
do,
this to like go another step ahead when we actually meet and record, like whenever we ever get the chance.
Yeah,
Like
that's
all
the
four of
plan,
us,
bro.
like
As
Yeah,
soon
we can
as
actually do
that'd
that.
be the best thing.
Yeah.
That's the plan, boys. That is the plan for the future. But thank you, boys, for joining in the podcast. This was a fun episode. We always end up chatting shit and pinballing our way through topics. But, this is what we love to do. And this is what we love to talk about. So it's always fun to have you boys in the podcast. People love you guys. So let them know where to find you. Drop your socials. Afroz, you can start. Where do the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram under the tag Banana Gone Savage.
Yeah, Nathan, go now.
Yeah. Nathan has matters. Find me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Link
And-
over here. Over here.
Think, he has to ask that. You can find me on Instagram at Trav_Lopez, and you can find me on YouTube as my channel name Travis Lopez. You find some singing videos there, and I'm going to be uploading my new song on YouTube. So stay tuned for that as well.
Good shit. But I bet you all your username sound pretty stupid now. We don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. I'll drop all the links down in the description below. Do not forget to like the damn video, boys. Like the damn video. Comment down below as well. And I will see you boys soon. A lot more videos coming out this week and next week. And look out for the new series coming out next season. I will see you boys very soon. Peace out. All right, boys.